Hi friends, it is science time now. So the things that you'll need are, you will need your science textbook, your science notebook, the notebook that you write in, and a pencil. For today's lesson, you are going to need to turn to go ahead and share my screen. You're going to turn to page 12 and 13. Today we're going to talk about how do scientists work. So before we start reading our lesson, I want you to look at the pages, the 2 pages in your textbook, and I want you to observe the things that you see in the photographs. So take a minute or two and really observe all the different things that you see in your textbook. If it's easier to look at your actual textbook and not the screen, go ahead and take a moment and really look at your photograph in your textbook and ask yourself, what am I seeing here? What things am I observing? As a scientist, what things do I see and what things do I observe? Let's see. I'm going to be a scientist and I'm going to observe some things. I'm going to tell you what I've observed. So it looks like I see a tree. This tree actually looks kind of cool. It's got really neat branches that are pretty wavy and it looks like they're reaching out really far. I see some rocks, some big black rocks it looks like, some sand. Looks like I see some plants over here. This looks like the ocean to me. Looks like I see a bird. Yeah, so as a scientist, those are all different things that I am seeing on this page. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so if we look at this photo of the bird, what do you think about that photo? What does that photo tell you? Can it tell you anything about the bird? You could look at the picture. You could also look at this picture caption. So let me go ahead and read it to you. And I want you to think about what information are you learning about this bird. The picture caption says, today, many birds, such as the pink pigeon, still live on the same island as the dodo birds did. These birds also eat fruits and seeds as the dodo bird did. Wow. What do you think about what things did you learn about this bird? I think I might have learned about the name of this bird. And the name of the bird is the pink pigeon. Oh, I know something else interesting that I learned about it. These birds, they live on the same island that the dodo birds did. And remember, the dodo birds, they're now extinct, but now these pink pigeons, they also live there. What else did you learn about this picture caption? Oh, I know. We learned about that this pink pigeon, they eat fruits and seeds just like the dodo bird. That is pretty interesting. Very cool. All right, so I think that we should go ahead and let's read in our textbook. And our purpose for reading this page is, I want you to think about what is one example from history of how scientists do their work. So we're going to think about, okay, in history, in the past, how did scientists do their work? Okay, so let's go ahead and read this. It says, scientists continued to study the dodo. At first, people thought that explorers hunted and ate the birds until they were gone. This wasn't exactly what happened. Scientists gathered more data. They found that other animals caused the disappearance of the dodo. People brought rats and pigs to the island. These animals ate the dodo's eggs. Scientists inferred this pattern scientists inferred, or they came to a conclusion, this pattern was the cause of the dodo's extinction. The loss of the dodo bird was the effect of a change in the island habitat. Over time, scientists collected data from different islands. The data could be used as evidence to show that when new animals were brought to islands, the number of animals that already lived there decreased, or they went down in numbers. Rats and pigs may eat the eggs of some native animals. Native animals are the animals that already live there. New animals may also eat the same food as animals that already lived on the island, which we learned about the pink pigeon. This leaves less food for the animals that live there first. Wow, that is super interesting. I know yesterday we had talked about what could have made these dodo birds extinct. But with science and more research, what did they actually find out about these dodo birds? Yeah, so we learned that the disappearance of the dodo birds was that there were different animals brought onto the island, such as rats and pigs, and they started to eat the dodo bird's eggs and also the food that they were eating. So when there's no more eggs to hatch and there's no more food for them to eat, what happens? They become extinct. So in your science notebook, I want you to go ahead and turn to the next clean page, and I want you to write down this question. So the question is, it's the question that we just talked about. So what inference did you find that caused the dodo bird to become extinct? So go ahead and start writing what you think. Move this here for a second. And if you're, boys and girls, if you're not done writing the question and I start moving on, make sure that you pause the video, write down your question or your answer, and then when you're all finished with that, go ahead and play the video again. All right, so to answer this question, what inference, and remember inferences, it's kind of like the conclusion that a scientist comes to when they've answered all the scientific questions that they've asked themselves. So what inferences did you find that caused the dodo bird to become extinct? Well, if we look back in our book, we found that, or scientists actually found that the dodo birds disappeared because people brought other animals to the island. So people brought other animals to the island. And then these animals ate the dodo bird's eggs and their food. So these animals ate the dodo bird's eggs and the food they ate. So then when this happened, the dodo birds became extinct. So because of this, the dodos became extinct. And then what I want you to do when you are done writing your answer to this question, remember scientists, they also draw illustrations in their notebook. So what I want you to do is I want you to try and draw an illustration of the dodo bird because this question is all about the dodo bird. And if you need some help, if you turn back to page 10 has some nice pictures of the dodo bird to help you create your illustration that goes with your answer to the question. All right, boys and girls, that is it for today. Please make sure that you look at your independent work slides so that you see what other homework that you have to complete. Other than that, I really missed you today. If you have any questions, please make sure that you your parents email me, or you can send me some kind of comment through Google Classroom, and I will try to get to your answer as soon as I can. Also, tomorrow, you can come see me during my office hours or ask me any other question throughout the day, and I would be happy to help you and happy to answer your question. All right, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow. See you later, friends. Good job today.